China Railways, as a system transporting 2 billion people each year, achieved what the world is seeing right now. But have you ever wondered?
When you watch a train zip by, how did this all start? The start of the China Railways aren't as smooth as you might have thought. In 1876, the British built the Shanghai-Wuzhen Railway. It is short yet meaningful. However, the Qing dynasty was
Conservative and rejected the railway.
They bought and teared down the railway.
The first government-run railway appeared in 1881.
The new Beiyang Navy needed coal. The railway ran from Tianshan to Shiyuan.
It became the first government-run railway of China.
A British engineer, Claude William Kinder, helped the Chinese workers to build a locomotive with an abandoned boiler. This locomotive, the Rocket of China, became the first locomotive of China. However, the Rocket of China disappeared after the World War II. In 1882, a 2-4- locomotive was bought from the Scotland Locomotive Works, numbered 0. From then on, railway began developing in China. In that era, the Qing dynasty was being dominated by Western forces. Back then, if the country gets the power to build a railway in a place, the country gets the mines in the area. Many people began trying to protect the country as railways. The Qing dynasty nationalized all railways in 1911. In 1920, the first railway built completely by China, running from Beijing to Zhangjiakou, opened. Its chief engineer, Zhang Shiniao, led many innovations that shocked other countries.
China also began making cars.
This imperial car was built based on Belgian design by the Tianshan Locomotive Works in 1889. Back then, all locomotives were imported. China couldn't make its own locomotives. In 1936, the first China-designed heavy locomotive, Classic Foam, was planned. However, it was produced by the Vulcan Foundry of the UK, as no factory in China could produce it. The two preserved examples are located in the museums of China and UK. In 1997, the World War II began. The Rail Corps in Shandong was a famous example of fighting a war using railways. They made accidents, teared down the rails and fought for supplies, using the railways as a tool to fight the war.
This photo was taken after the Rail Corps won a battle.
On October 1, 1949, the People's Republic of China was established. The 4,069 steam locomotives working in China back in 1949 are from more than 130 factories of 8 countries. It was July 26, 1952. The first steam locomotive built by the People's Republic of China. August 1st was complete at the Sifan Locomotive Works, Qingdao. Then, more steam locomotives designed and built in China were made, such as Class JS. Class QJ, and Class SY. It was 1958. Many countries are already starting to decommission their steam locomotives, while China is still mass-producing them. In the February 7th Locomotive Works of Beijing, the development of a diesel locomotive began. This Class JS, with the same name as the Class JS steam locomotive, became the first diesel locomotive of China. On the same year, the Shazhou Locomotive Works developed the first electric locomotive of China. They marked the start of the DF, diesel, and SS, electric, series of the China Railways. In 1968, the Nanjing Yangtze Bridge was finished. The mass production of Class SS1 electric locomotive began. In 1979, the Class SS3 electric locomotive was developed successfully. Quasi-high-speed locomotives and the 25 series passenger cars were also being developed. In 1988, the Changchun Rolling Stock Works developed the first AMU train of China, class KDZ-1. It was June 24, 1996. The Class SS-8 electric locomotive broke the China Railway's speed record with a test speed of 149.19 mph. Later, the China Railways undergone 6 major speed increases, raising train speeds from an average of 26.71 mph to 74.56 to 111.85 mph. In 2004, China imported technology for high-speed EMU trains from a number of countries.
Business negotiations began in many locomotive works.
When the Japanese threatened to end the negotiation at the Sifan Locomotive Works, Qingdao,
a Chinese representative threw the teacup onto the ground
and said if they went out of the room at that time, they can never come back again. It was February 1st, 2007, the first CRH series EMU was put into service from Guangzhou east to Shenzhen. The train's speed reached 217.47 mph. The 2008 Olympic Games also advertised China as high-speed trains. Then, China started developing new trains based on the imported technologies. It was 2010 the first China developed EMU with proprietary intellectual property rights. Class CRH 380A was complete. Its test speed, 301.99 mph, broke the world record for the fastest operating train. It was June 26, 2017. Rejuvenation Series EMU was debuted on the Beijing-Shanghai High-Speed Railway. It marked the beginning of the China Standard EMU. With complete independent intellectual property, it marked a new stage on China's railway development. In the future, China Railway will get even more accomplishments and contribute to the world's railway transportation industry.